So you're probably looking at this map wondering what all these symbols mean. So in this video, I'm going to break down all the symbols that you need to know for the Tower of Fantasy map and also explain how the exploration works. So for our first priority, we want to look at the Omnium Tower. This is essentially the Statue of 7 in Genshin Impact. What it does, it reveals the whole map, so that way you can see all the symbols and the special locations that you need to go to. The quickest way to pretty much unlock that is just to follow the story. The next thing you want to look out for are space rifts. Those are like waypoints in Genshin. Those help you teleport around the map pretty easy. So if you see those, even if you're traveling to an Omnium Tower, make sure you stop and unlock it. And how you tell that it's unlocked, it'll be yellow on the map. Same for the Omnium Tower. Also note you can navigate to any location on the map, even if it's locked, kind of like pins in Genshin. And the last thing that you want to make sure you unlock are ruins. Now you may not always be able to interact with the ruin if you're not high enough level. Ruins are really good because you can also teleport to them automatically when you're ready to do them. They upgrade your relics, which help you in combat and also travel throughout the world. So it's always good to try to knock out the ruins as high as you can. I would say all the way up to normal. You might want to wait till hard till once you're towards the end game and you have your character geared out more. But at the very least, you probably want to get up to normal in every ruin that you can. Now let's talk about the other icons. Now I recommend that you don't focus on these until you have progressed through the story as much as you can and also done your dailies for the day. But these are also important because it increases your world exploration, which give you rare materials, rolls, and other things, which increases the power of your account. So I would not overlook this, but let's discuss the first one. Alright, now let's talk about side quests. These are essentially random missions you can do for NPCs to get experience and materials. How they look are like diamonds that are blue. If it has an exclamation mark in the middle of it, that means it's a side quest that you can go get. If it has a question mark inside of it, that means you can go turn that in. And if it has a blue diamond inside of it, that means it's a location you need to go to for the side quest you're currently on. Next, you have the Green Lantern looking thing. These are training facilities. If you think about Genshin, essentially there was that dungeon that told you about how to do elemental reactions. That's essentially what these are. They're just quick things to pretty much show you how to play the game, and you can get resources and materials. Now let's talk about Strongholds. Essentially, you clear out the camp of all the enemies, and then you're rewarded with either a black nucleus or a gold nucleus. How do you tell if you've done a stronghold on the map? It will be grayed out. If it's light blue, that means you still need to go and do that stronghold, what you want to do, so that way you can increase your world exploration. Think of Genshin, to where there's a bunch of enemies protecting a treasure chest, and you have to clear out all the enemies, so that way you can unlock it and get all the materials inside. This is the same thing here. Alright, now let's talk about Stargates. This is one of the dailies that you're going to do every day, but for now, just basically know that they are dungeons to where you can get materials to upgrade your weapons, and some Stargates are better than others. But early game, you're most likely going to go to all the Stargates on the map, but I'll discuss this in more detail when I talk about the dailies, so look forward to that. Now let's talk about world exploration. I'm not going to mention every possible thing that you can do in the world, but at least I'm going to make you familiar, so that way if you do come across any obstacles, you can quickly resolve them. So as you see here, you're going to find elemental rocks. This one is a lightning rock, so I have to use a lightning weapon to get the materials out of it. The game tries to provide you help, like if you saw over there, you saw little like lightning creatures, you can like pick that up and throw it at the rock, and that can take the place of a lightning weapon. But I should suggest just try to, you know, quickly roll and get one element of every weapon quickly. Now the dandelion, you want to make sure that you're attacking these. Like what they have inside of them is a black nucleus. Like you see with that dandelion, it had a black ball, that shows that there is a black nucleus inside. If I would have attacked this one sooner, there would be no black ball in there, meaning that I could not get a black nucleus. So you at least want to, while you go around the world, attack all the dandelions, or at least search if you have a black nucleus in there, because that's a free roll. It's not the pity banner, but I mean, you still have a chance to get a 5-star, so you might as well go ahead and attack it along the way. And I think some of the best relics to use to explore is definitely the jetpack, so that way you can quickly get to places. You might maybe want to have like a damage relic if you have to like go inside a camp and attack, because you can use relics while you're in combat, and that can just kill them quicker, just saving you more time. As you see here, I'm collecting like mushrooms and berries and stuff like that. Pretty much similar to Genshin, to where it's just like, yeah, you get that stuff and you can use it to cook, which I'll show you later on. Here you see me attacking the branches with fire weapon. So just like with Amber, now I'm able to access the treasure inside. Here are cooking stations. You want to make sure that you have some food on you, that way you can quickly heal your character when you're fighting in dungeons or in parties and groups. Yes, you can use another weapon to heal you, but if it's not like leveled up and it's not your main spec, it could take a while, so it's just faster just to have that quick food to eat, and so that way you can keep going. And sometimes just going pure damage will be a lot faster than just trying to stop and heal. Here I want to direct you to the mini-map to where you can see the white dot. Like, you're going to see a lot of white dots as you go along. What they do is show you the location of Black Nucleus and Goat Nucleus, so they're important, but remember, like I said, the story's probably the most important, so you don't want to spend all time doing that. As you go across the world, you'll see boxes that look like these. You generally want to use Perfect Cipher, but I ran out of the materials to open them. If you see in the right hand corner, you need like a blue chip, and I have 0, so I can't do it. So I'm forced to use Force Cipher and get lower materials. But if you log into the event, you should have plenty of materials. Here's an instance where you're going to have to use a relic to get to the Black Nucleus. You'll see certain things like this throughout the world, so make sure that you're familiar with how your relics work, because to get to some things, you're going to need that relic to unveil it. Here, just to show you the dandelion again, you see there's a Black Nucleus inside, so I'm going to definitely attack this one. But right here, I'm opening up a little treasure chest. There is no like Force Cipher or anything. Think of them as like a small chest like in Genshin. Here is something like where you find little puzzles out in the world. Essentially how you solve this is you basically look for the smallest mushroom, and then you jump on the smallest to the biggest. So first you start out with the small one, and then you just keep jumping on all the mushrooms till you get to the biggest one. And you want to do that in the proper order. If you do it correctly, then it'll reveal a Black Nucleus. Another puzzle that you might want to look out for is there's this thing that looks kind of like tentacles or something, and how I was discussing earlier with like the elemental rocks. If you pick up like one of the elemental objects and you throw it inside the tentacle thing, it will pop out a Black Nucleus for you. This is a co-op challenge that you're going to find out throughout the world, so if you have some friends, it will be helpful, especially if you're exploring for the first time, because you can't really open this without having someone else stand on the platform, because this is a weight challenge. So one person has to stand here and another person has to stand on the other one, and then it will unlock the treasure. There are some co-op challenges that I found that you're actually able to do by yourself, but this one, unfortunately, I couldn't. You see me trying to like get a relic and trying to figure it out if I can open it by myself, but I did not have any luck. I thought maybe if I put a relic on one and that will kind of do the weight, kind of like with Genshin, but no, didn't really work out. Take a look at the mini-map. You'll see a circular symbol, which means that has either a Black Nucleus or a Gold Nucleus. Most of the time they are protected by enemies, and to unlock it, you need to kill the treasure guard. Now, if they're protected by multiple enemies, I suggest just kill all the enemies, because even if you do kill the treasure guard, most of the time when you try to open up the container, the other enemies are just going to shoot you and stop you from opening it anyway. But once you kill the treasure guard, then it unlocks and you're able to get the item out of the treasure. In this case, I got a Black Nucleus. Once you get further in the game, you'll be able to talk to this person called Claire, and once you kind of do that whole story dialogue thing, when you open up treasure chest, there will be like this little Claire hologram, and what these do is just another way to get some materials, but you kind of have like a time trial type of thing. In this one, you'll see that I have to defeat an enemy, but I've done 3 of these so far. Like, one was like matching, one was kind of like I was Mario and just like had to hop over things and collect enough coins within the time limit. So again, it's always probably good to increase your character's power level, because wasn't unfortunately able to beat the time limit, but my character wasn't as strong as it should be, so that's kind of on me. If you like this video, check out what you need to do daily so that way you can progress efficiently in Tower of Fantasy. Otherwise, check out my last video where I explain the gacha rates compared to Genshin Impact. Otherwise, have a great day.